Hey guys, Tiny Bryson here, and if you're broke, you don't have that much money, you don't have $1 million net worth, but you actually want to invest, what are 3 good investment options for people that are actually broke to increase their income and their earning potential as fast as possible? That's what I'm going to break down in this video. This video is not about, hey, open up a Roth IRA, wait 30 to 40 years, and only then you'll have like $1 million net worth, but now you're also like 70 or 60 years old. I'm talking about right now. What are the things you can actually invest into right now to increase your income as fast as possible? I'm gonna break everything down in this video right here. So let's get right into the video. Before we actually do me a favor and smash the like button. Now, number 1, guys, is going to be you have to increase your income by increasing your level of skill. That is number 1. If right now you're earning less than $40,000, there are a lot of jobs available that can actually make you about $80,000 to $100,000 to $120,000. Just the other day, I was watching a video on the Dave Ramsey channel where a guy who is a pooper scooper goes around people's houses, picks up dog poop, is making over $100,000. So if you feel like you just don't earn enough money, there are jobs available that actually earn you more money. But I will tell you this, guys, okay? There is a key. Like every single investment has a key. The key is this. You want an investment or a job that you actually like, you're good at, and it's going to make you money. Those are the 3 keys when it comes to getting a new job, a new career, a new trade, a new skill, whatever you actually want to do. And it's all about understanding also that not every hour is worth the same, okay? Every hour is an hour, but not every hour is paid out the same. If I work at McDonald's and I'm getting paid minimum wage, let's say $15, which by the way, I know the national average is about $7.25, I'm not mistaken. But let's say you're actually making $15 an hour working at McDonald's in New York, okay? That's what an hour of your time is actually worth. In order to actually make more money, you're going to need to work more hours, either after work or ask for overtime. However, if I call my plumber right now and ask him to come check a pipe for me, that 1 hour or that one visit that he takes might be worth $100 or $150. You see, the level of skill required to be a plumber is a lot more different than to be an employee at McDonald's or any fast food restaurant or any minimum wage job. So based on your level of skill, you're actually able to earn more money. So just for fun here, here's a calculator. If you actually make $15 an hour at McDonald's and you work 8, that's about $120. My plumber comes in, works 1 hour, gets paid $150. That's $150. In 1 hour, he gets paid more than you get paid in a day. So what are your options here? Because there's one more rule when acquiring a new skill. I told you, something you like, you're good at, and that makes you money. But additional to that, make sure you don't get into debt to pursue that skill. That's also very important. So whether you want to get a trade, whether you want to go to college, whether you want to do, for example, a diplomatic, whatever, there's a lot of different things you could actually do. You don't need to spend 4 years in college. I think it's a diplomacy. I'm not sure what it's actually called, but that's the over idea. And one of my favorite skills right now, favorite jobs right now in this current market. So if you got in value so far, I'm going to ask for a favor. Subscribe to the channel because only like 20% of the people that watch are actually subscribed. So go ahead and subscribe right now because I have a lot more content. And one of my favorite skills right now, favorite jobs right now in this current market has to be anything IT or software engineer related. Those jobs, they get paid a lot of money, they get a lot of flexibility, but you also have sales jobs. There's a lot of things available, so open up your eyes, look around, and also do your research. This way, you can actually increase your level of income. I rather spend 8 hours of my time like at work, working like a normal job, and then spend the rest of my time investing that time into a new career. So in a year or 2 years when I'm done, I'm able to go from making $40,000 a year to making, for example, $80,000 or $90,000. That's the best investment you can make. There is no investment that doubles in 2 years, okay? There is none, okay, for the most part. So this right here is going to be the best one out there. A Roth IRA, investing into index funds might make you 10% a year, but you put in the time to get a skill, in 2 years, you might be able to make double what you make right now. That's a solid investment. Now, number two, guys, is going to be pretty surprising, and here it is, okay? Invest in affordable quality. You never hear that. You never hear affordable quality, especially in commercials, okay? Because they want to make everything seem like if it's luxury, you have to associate it with being expensive. But what you actually want is affordable quality, okay? And you can get both things, okay? It's like this famous quote I heard from Warren Buffett, which says, price is what you pay, value is what you actually end up getting. That is super key. Just because, for example, something costs like $100,000 and the other product costs $50,000, it doesn't mean one is inferior to the other. It might just mean that one is overpriced because of the brand and all the marketing and all that perception stuff, but the other one might even be better quality overall. So what are the things that you're actually going to spend the most money on in your lifetime that you actually want to make sure you pay affordable prices to get quality? Well, number one is going to be the car you end up buying, okay? If you want to get a quality, affordable car, you usually want two things here. You want a reliable brand, and you also want to buy this vehicle used. The lifespan of a reliable brand is between 200 to 250,000 miles. Depending on how you drive, that's between 15 to about 20 years. So if you buy a car used that's 5 years old, you still have a lot of car left, okay? So that's the idea. And right now, currently, 2023, as I make this video, the best cars available that are actually affordable and quality and have great brand reputation are Toyota, Honda, and Mazda. Notice I'm not saying Mercedes, Audi, BMW. These cars, they scream luxury, but when you take a look at the reviews and also the parts, they are not quality. They're fun to drive, they look beautiful, but they will put a hole inside of your pocket, okay? So you want to avoid that by all means. Now, here's the second big expense you're probably going to make. And by the way, just one more thing on the car situation. If you're buying a Toyota RAV4 that costs $25,000 like MSRP price, if you wait 5 years, that same Toyota might be like 15,000 or like 10,000. You get a massive discount this way. That's what I'm saying. You get affordable quality. That's what you actually want. Now, number two is going to be the house you buy. When you go to the bank is not worried about affordable quality. They're worried about, for example, hey, how can we make the most profit from this person between the closing costs, between the mortgage we give them, and then we're going to grab that mortgage and sell it off somewhere else, okay? Because they just want to make their commission and do what they're going to do. But for you, you're worried about affordable quality. And there are a few things you want to worry about here, okay? You want to make sure the home you buy is no more than 33% of your monthly income net. So if you make $1,000, you don't want to spend more than $333 a month on this property between the taxes and insurance, the PMI, the actual mortgage, and all that fancy stuff. That's the idea. You also want to get it on a 15-year mortgage because your goal is, I want affordable quality. I want to own it as fast as possible, okay? Now, number three is going to be education. I just told you, education and leveling up in your skill can lead you to a massive boost in income, but it could also lead you to having $100,000 in student loan debt, or $50,000 or $200,000. I've seen some crazy numbers out there. So what you want is affordable quality. I want to get into the career I want to get into, but I don't want to pay for a fancy name from a private school, okay? Again, the name is what you pay for, but the degree is the value you're actually going to get, the actual skill to go out there and make that money. And lastly, there is affordable quality when it comes to wants in life. There are things that you want that you don't need. You might want to go out. You might want to shop on Amazon. Those things you don't need, but you should actually have some of that because that's what life is about, right? In some way, financially speaking. So that means set aside 5 to 10% of your income to buy the things you just want. And why is this such a good investment overall? And how is it that spending money can save you money? Well, think about it, okay? The reason a lot of people in the middle class are basically drowning in debt and drowning in expenses is because they don't think this way. They think, hey, the car I buy is going to be the car I want. So they get, for example, into some lousy, expensive luxury vehicle that costs them a bunch of money every single month and they can't afford to pay for in cash. And by the way, you should pay for your car in cash. they can't afford it. Okay, so now they have a crazy car payment of like $700 a month, and then they buy a house that's fancy and all this stuff on a 30-year mortgage, and they're paying a bunch of money every so month, and they get education costs and all this other stuff. They have a crazy student loan debt, and before you know it, they have a paycheck with a large number on it, but they also have crazy expenses with even bigger numbers on it. Okay, so you want to avoid that. So spending money the right way can actually be a solid investment, because the car you drive is going to be a good investment for your time. The house you buy is going to be a good investment over time, obviously, because it's going to appreciate in value. And the education you get is going to be a good investment because it's going to increase your level of income. And your wants, putting your money into that, is going to give you, for example, usually a happier lifestyle, which is also a good investment. Okay, so that's what I'm saying here. Now, the third thing, which by far for me is the most important one on this list, and this video is actually sponsored by me. If you want to support the channel and also get exclusive videos and also discount codes for my courses and content overall, join me on Patreon. I'm going to put the link down below. Back to the video. Which by far for me is the most important one on this list is going to be buy the coffee and also invest in the Roth. Always think both. When I first started learning about personal finance and money and all this stuff, you know what I used to do? I used to literally invest 99% of my money, and I used to spend like 1% of my expenses, because back then I lived with my mom, okay? So it was easy to do that. But when the price is that high and the price is no enjoyment at all, is just investing and investing and investing, the reward is not going to be as sweet. The actual sweetness of this financial journey is the journey itself. You probably heard that before. It sounds corny, but it's true. When you're going to be spending 30 years investing and doing things correctly with your money, you have to enjoy that journey, because you don't want to be the guy that spends 30 years working hard in his finances, gets to the end, and all he has to show for life is basically a number. And when he gets to that age, the number, he can't do the same things with the money anymore because he's already so much older. So the whole goal is, every time I get paid, these days, I grab around 10% of my money and I have fun with it. Every time I get paid, I grab around 20% of my money and I set it aside for investing or saving or whatever it is, okay? Well, I shouldn't really use those numbers, but for the most part, the money I pay myself, that's what I do with that money in that way. That's the idea, guys, overall. So you always want to think both. You want to think about the future? Yes, invest. The Roth IRA is super important. Maxing out your 401k, all that stuff, cool stuff, which you probably won't do because it takes a lot to be able to do that. But for the most part, enjoy that, but also enjoy life right now. So always think both. And guys, overall, that is it for this video. Thanks for watching. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified. I'll see you guys next time. Comment down below though, which one of these three investments are you more likely to start putting into action right now? Is it the education part? Is it the investing in affordable quality? Or is it lastly, always think both, invest and also enjoy life at the same time? Now, this video is actually made possible by the people over at Patreon. If you want to support us on Patreon, go over there, and the highlight Patreon supporter for this week is actually here.